Okay, once again, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Sunday, March 28th. We're going to be going over today's news headlines. Also, recaps today: LSU baseball, Tulane Baseball, Southeastern Baseball, and UNO Baseball. So we will be recapping those games as well. So let's go ahead and put those links in. Let me go ahead and put them in. Okay, the link is in YouTube and Twitter. So we'll go with the Facebook and we'll send links over to there. So all three links are set up. So once again, let's go ahead and go over the game recaps from yesterday: LSU, Tulane, UNO baseball, and Southeastern baseball. So we're going to go over to D1 baseball, and we'll recap what happened in their games yesterday. So I'm going to go over to that as we go. So we're going to begin recapping LSU baseball. So we'll do that first. Okay, LSU did play. It was suspended. The game will resume today, so they will resume today. LSU and Tennessee. So we have no recap for LSU. So we'll begin with Tulane baseball. So we'll recap Tulane baseball. So we'll go with the Tulane Green Wave. Okay, Tulane did play yesterday. They lost to Grand Canyon 8-7. That was in yesterday's game, and also they will play today. So they'll play the last game of the series. So we're going to recap that. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. So let me put that in the box score. Who's sending me a message? Why is he coming in? I'm recapping the game. What you want? I'm going to go ahead and put him in someone. His freaking mouth. What? I don't know. All right. Let's recap what happened. So I'm going to see what he wants before we can go on to anything. Okay, Tulane once again loses 8-7. The line score for both teams. Let's see who's in here. What? Good morning. What you want? Good morning.
Hey.
What you want?
How's it going?
All right.
So excited for another day of March Madness today?
Yeah, I'm excited for March Madness. Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win, Michigan or FSU?
I think it's going to be Michigan.
Yeah, hopefully FSU wins. So
yeah.
So we got baseball. So yeah,
I'm gonna be recapping.
Great. So go ahead and recap. I'll be on here. I'll stay.
All right. Let's recap what happened. Line score for Grand Canyon: 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Tulane 7 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. The losing pitcher was Zach DeVito, 1-1. Your winning pitcher was Keaton Glover for Grand Canyon University.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of runs. It's just...
Yeah. Okay, let's begin. In the top of the first, Grand Canyon scored on a single, unearned run, made it 1-0. Then the same inning single again was scored on a single, and then Burton scored, and then it was 4 times in this inning. Grand Canyon doubled down the line, also scored, made it 3-0, and then same inning was a single. So it was singles, and 3 singles, 1 double. Tulane scored in the bottom of the first on a home run to center field, made it 4-2. So there was 4-2, Tulane on top. Then second inning, Grand Canyon came back with a home run of their own, made it 6-2. And then Chase Englehart grounded out. Hart scored, made it 6-3, and then Burns flied out, so it was a sac fly, made it 6-4. Also, Grand Canyon in the top of the 6th. Ortiz singled in the top of the 6th. Now, in the bottom of the 6th, Tulane scored on a single, made it 7-5. And then in the same inning was a hit by a pitch. And then in the bottom of the 7th, Graf bunt. It was a sac bunt. Abell scored, made it 7-7. And then Grand Canyon scored the running run in the top of the 9th. So they scored 1 run. So 8-7 was your final score. So we're going through the scoring summary. We'll go through the box scores. Okay, box scores on your screen as followed.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, all right. Colin Burns went 1 for 4. Bennett went 1 for 4. Bungard went 2 for 5. Neiman went 0 for 5. Bales went 2 for 4. Hart went 2 for 4. Groff went 1 for 2. LaPrairie went 2 for 4. Englehart went 1 for 4, and that's in the game. Tulane left 8 men on base. That was on.
I mean, look, if you want my opinion, you have to cut down those base runners.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, batting.
MLB is coming up, and Kerry's going to be commentating some games.
I will be commentating some games.
So then you got a lot on your plate. You got college baseball, you got basketball, you got baseball.
Yep. Oh yeah. So,
and eventually college football.
Yeah, it's gonna once we.
You've been doing the NFL draft too.
I'll be doing NFL draft as well.
Yeah, I remember last year. Last year you went crazy, like 6 rounds and stuff.
Yeah.
So is that the plan again?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to be doing it again this year. If you want to come in, we'll do it. So let's give you the batting. Bales, we had a double. Bennett had a home run. Groff had a home run sac hit.
Wow, let me tell you, this Tulane team can hit.
Oh yeah, they definitely can hit the ball. So they just absolutely they played against
last night.
That was yesterday. So they're going to have the series again today. So
again, they only had 479 attendance. So COVID.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, look, we'd rather have some attending fans than So that was
but I'm gonna go to a Marlins game.
Yeah. So box score. So we'll go through the pitching.
Why didn't you go to the game?
Because I don't go to the game.
Oh no.
Okay, let's give you those numbers. Ulrich, 3 innings of work. He had 5 hits, 6 runs. 4 of them was earned, 4 strikeouts. He faced 16 batters. Donovan Benoit had 3 innings of work. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run. 1 of them was earned. Walked 1, struck out 8. Clifford Siegel had 2 in innings. He gave up 1 hit. He walked 1, struck out, and then Campbell had 1 strikeout. That was in 0.1 inning. Also, DeVito came in.
Who?
That's Zach DeVito. Zach DeVito came in.
Okay. That got crazy, right?
Yeah. So they got some 2 hits, 1 run. 1 of them was earned. No strikeouts and no walks. Tulane struck out 14 and walked only 2.
Hey, Kerry, guess what?
What?
I'm editing an article now, so.
Oh, all right.
Hopefully you like it when I publish it. I mean, let me tell you guys, we work hard. Me and Kerry. I mean, look, I don't do a lot of streams anymore. Like I said, I don't stream play-by-play anymore on Sportscaster or even YouTube or so. I do articles now.
Yeah.
I do. media still.
Oh yeah. So
I'm still on YouTube. I'm making my highlight reels. Sorry.
okay. So the game will be at 1:00 today, Grand Canyon University. So we'll go over. LSU did not have a game because of the rain yesterday. So we will go over to.
Hey, guys, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe just sing your way through the day.
Oh yeah. So UNO baseball 12-11, 7-4. They did play yesterday against Abilene Christian. They did win 8-4. They lost 19-10 in the second game. So second game they lost 19-10, but they did win 8-4, and so that was in the third game. So they're having a 4-game series. It's once again the college baseball 4-game series. So we'll recap UNO and Abilene Christian in the third and final game. So thanks for coming in, Isaac. Appreciate it. So let's go through the box scores in this one. Abilene Christian line 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors. UNO 8 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Cave Selesky was your winner. Austin Glaze for Abilene Christian was your loser. Tulane UNO had 286 at Maestri Field, 81 degrees. The game started at 6:05. The time was 2 hours and 57 minutes. Abilene Christian did score in the top of the third on a single, and then in the top of the fifth they scored on a single to right field. Then UNO scored 3 times in the fifth. Luke the Woolard single to right field. Woolard advanced on a wild pitch. Semrich flied out. It was a sac fly, so that was in the bottom of the fifth. Ferd also had a fielder's error. Semrich doubled. Paige Howard did score in the bottom of the seventh. Also, Gage Howard advanced the third on a wild pitch. That was Ferd did score on that wild pitch, made it 7-4. Also, Paige Howard flied out to center field. It was an RBI. Gage Howard did score. So Gage Howard scored on an unearned run. So 8-4 was your final score. UNO and Abilene Christian. LSU they did not play, so we'll recap them probably Monday. So let's give you the box score from UNO. Box score. I'm going to go through the box score as followed. Fur went 1 for 3. He did have 2 walks. Gage Howard went 1 for 5. Paige Howard went 2 for 4. Luke the Woolard went 2 for 4. Salah Isaiah went 1 for 3. He had 2 strikeouts. Casey Semrich had Simrich had 1 for 3. Hudson LeBlanc had went 0 for 1, and Trevor Goober went 0 for 2. Murphy Jackson went 1 for 4. Darren Willis went 1 for 3. UNO left 9 men on base. They struck out 8 times and walked 5, so they kind of worked the counts for the Abilene Christian pitchers. Now, the batting, Isaiah had a double. Simrich had double. Murphy Jackson had a double. Sack hits was Salah Isaiah, Dylan Willis, Simrich, Simon Ridge and Paige Howard had a sack fly in the game. Now, UNO pitching, 19 strikeouts, 3 walks. So excellent strikeout to walk ratio for the UNO pitchers. They gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them was earned. Hayden Erb, he had 4 innings of work, 4.2. Gave up 4 runs, 4 hits, 3 of them was earned. He walked 1, struck out 11. Kay Selesky had 1 hit, no runs, none of them was earned. He struck out 8 and walked 2. That was in yesterday's ball game. The game will resume today, weather permitting. We're supposed to have some rain today here in the New Orleans area. So UNO now 12 and 11, 7 and 4 in Southland Conference play. So we'll recap Southeastern Baseball. So we'll go and also go over to news. Okay, update on college basketball. Memphis on top 13-3. That's in the NIT. The Sweet 16 continues today. They're going to have a lot of good games on. We just talked about Florida State and Michigan. I say Florida State Michigan will win this game. I mean, sure, they have Florida State, but the truth of the matter is I think Michigan, because Michigan's what they did against LSU was excellent. So we'll recap Southeastern Baseball. So I'm going to go ahead and recap Southeastern Louisiana Baseball, and then we'll wrap it up. So I'm going to go ahead and recap Southeastern. Okay, Southeastern 8-3 in the conference, 15-8 overall. They did defeat Lamar 6-2. And also in the second game, they won 6-5. So first game on Saturday, doubleheader 6-5, 6-2. So we're going to recap the second game, Southeastern and Lamar. So we're going to recap that game. I'm going to pull the box scores. Okay, the box scores on the screen. Your winning pitcher was Kyler Barley, 3-1. Cal Flatridge did get the save for Southeastern. He has his first save. The game began at 4:00. 2 hours and 50 minutes. 6:52 at the game. It was in Beaumont, Texas. Okay, the line score for Southeastern: 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Lamar 2 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. So that was in the game yesterday. So Southeastern scored 3 times in the bottom of the top of the second. They scored on a advance to third on a wild pitch. They also scored on a ground out to second. That was a sack bunt. Also, in the same inning, Keller doubled down the left field line. Robier did score. Then Southeastern scored in the top of the 4th on the wild pitch. And then in the top of the 8th, they scored on the single. So that was in the ball game yesterday. So Lamar scored twice in the bottom of the 9th on a single, and also in another single by Lamar. So 6-2 was your final in game 2 of the doubleheader. So let's give you the Southeastern box score on batting. Southeastern box score: Keller went 1 for 4, Johnson 1 for 5, Burke, 1 for 5. Preston Faulkner, 2 for 2. Kristen Garcia, 1 for 4. Tyler Fink, 3 for 3. Rhett Revere, Rosevear went 1 for 3. Nick Ray went 1 for 2 in the game, and Bryce Griffali, that's G I double Z AFI, went 0 for 4. The batting, Evan Kelly had a double. Fink had a double. Ray had a sack hit. Base running, Kristen Garcia stole a base. Tyler Fink, second stolen base. Caught stealing was Tyler Fink, and also Preston Faulkner for Southeastern. So that was in their game. Okay, Barley had 5 minutes of work. He gave up 5 hits, no runs. None of them was earned. He gave up 2 walks, struck out 3. Also, Kyle Flatridge, 4 innings of work, 2 hits, 6 hits, 2 runs. 2 of them was earned. He walked 1, struck out 3. Southeastern struck out 6 batters and walked on 3, but they gave up 11 hits in the game. 2 runs, 2 of them was earned. So the hit by pitch was Barley. That was 1 for Barley. So that was in the game yesterday. So Southeastern will continue the series against Lamar today. So it's a 4-game series. So they did play. Southeastern did win both baseball games, 6-5, 6-2. So 3-0. So they do lead the series 3-0. The impending series will be later on this evening. That will be at Lamar. Now, the next week, Southeastern will have a 4-game series. April 1st through April 3rd, they will take on McNeese out in Hammond. Then they'll have Abilene Christian coming in on the 9th through 11th. And then Stephen F. Austin comes in 16th through the 18th. So 16th through the 18th will be and then UNO April 23rd through 25th. That'll be out at Private Park on the lakefront. So Southeastern Baseball, we'll wrap this up. Southeastern Baseball. Let's see if we can get Xavier Baseball. I'm trying to see if we can give you a Xavier recap. Xavier did play, so we're going to see if we can give you a Xavier recap. Xavier University game recap. See if I can give you a game recap on Xavier University. Okay, Xavier Baseball, they did defeat Russ College 11-3, so we'll give you that recap. So we'll go ahead and recap Xavier and Russ. Okay, Xavier wins game. Xavier wins 4-0 in their game yesterday versus Russ College. They will take on Tougaloo. That'll be on the 31st. So they will take on Tougaloo. So they win 2-1 and 4-0. So 2-1 and 4-0 for Xavier. Okay, the batting for Xavier RBI was Coleman and Vigenzo. That's Jose Vigenzo heading RBI. Runs Semino, Rodriguez, Danny Coleman, and also Joshua Santos. So it looks like he had a base runner. Also stolen base. Shane goals and Danny Coleman that was in the game for the Xavier goal rush. Hitting the ball was Coco Semino. He went 1 for 2. Also, Antonio Rodriguez went 1 for 2. Danny Coleman went 1 for 2, and Jose for Gento Silo. That's when I'm pronounce his name. 1 for 3. I don't want to mispronounce this young man's name. For the Xavier Gold Rush. Xavier Gold Rush now 25. Outscored opponents 25 in 2 of their last 4 games. So they will once again they will take on Tougaloo. There's Tougaloo. So Xavier wins 4-0 in their game out at Barrow Stadium. That's on the lakefront. So we'll move along. Okay, we'll go over some news headlines. I'm going to go over some scores. Okay, let's give you some news from ESPN. Okay, Francis Ncaa wins the UFC heavyweight title. So that's what happened yesterday in UFC. So he wins the title. So it's Ncaa and you. I'm trying to pronounce his name. It's a little tricky, but so he did went by knockout. He knocked out Stripe. In his bout, that was it came in 52 seconds in the second round. So that was that is your UFC wrap up. Okay, Brooklyn Nets continue to add depth for the postseason. Agreed to deal with LaMarcus Aldridge, so it looks like he is going to be going over to the Brooklyn Nets. He is 35 years old. He agreed to a contract buyout with the San Antonio Spurs. So Aldridge will be going over to the Brooklyn Nets. I think they are adding. He scores 19 points and 8.3 rebounds a game in his 15th NBA season. So I think that's a good investment for the Brooklyn Nets in general. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, the Lakers front runners to land Andre Drummond. So this is from Adrian Wojnarowski. You can follow him at ESPN. Drummond's cleared on waivers on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So it looks like, and that's 4 p.m. Central. So he will be. Lakers are looking to pick him up in the trade. Drummond's averaging 17 points a game, 13.5 rebounds, and he has 25 starts. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be adding some significant depth for the Lakers in general. So once again, this is from this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson. It's an unusual force. Rick Carlisle said, let's hear what he had to say about it. So Rick Carlisle last night in his post-game comments saying Zion is an unusual force. He definitely had 38 points last night in that game against the Mavericks.
In terms of his development as a ball handler, a primary facilitator, and what kind of challenges does that present for a defense?
Yeah, it presents huge challenges for the defense and for the officials. He is just creating collisions out there, and it's this is a Shaquille O'Neal type force of nature with a point guard skill set, and if you back off of him, he'll just take up space and keep coming at you. And you look at his 3-point numbers. He's actually, I think, 2 for 2 in his last 5 games headed into this game tonight. So, whenever he gets that going, and it's only a matter of time, he'll be even more difficult to deal with. But they've made a lot of great adjustments to put him in a position, to be a great facilitator, and it's just it's a real challenge. You gotta have a lot of courage to stand in there and get run over by that guy, because he's coming at you fast. He's coming at you like it's not just a Amtrak, it's the Excella. It's the fast one that doesn't stop. Doesn't stop.
Yeah. I mean, look, he put 2 players on Zion. It didn't work 99% of the time. I saw that game last night. He was just absolutely just going through those their defense. Look, they could put maybe he said Antonio Davis said they'd say lock in with his defense, putting people on him, but Zion knew how to go through that defense. So I'll be honest with you, he said the truth. Zion is an absolute unusual force, to say the least. I mean, nobody, and I mean no one, can try to stop him. If they can kind of slow him down, that'd be good. But Zion is a wrecking force to be reckoned with. So Once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So let me move my mic back over to myself. So okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, Doc Rivers gives the West predictions from afar. Says the Lakers and Clippers are still teams to beat. So I think, yeah, absolutely. Sure, you don't have Anthony Davis, and you don't have Anthony Davis, or you don't have LeBron James, but they still could be a force in the Western Conference. So Doc Rivers has a correct point on both Lakers and Clippers. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we can talk about. Okay, Al Horford. With focus on developing young players, the Oklahoma City Thunder shut down Al Horford for the remainder of the season, so he'll no longer will be active for games this season. So looks like I think they need to trade him. If they don't use Al Horford, I think they need to trade him. I think Oklahoma City, look, they're trying to bring in young talent and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, look, you got to have some significant players to make sure that the Thunder can contend in the playoffs. I mean, right now, focusing on young talent right now is just too little too late, to be honest with you. I mean, if they're focusing on the future, that's fine. But when you shut down Al Horford, look, that's just telling them, look, look, we don't need you no more and stuff like that. So that's what it's saying. We don't need you no more. So, and I'm pretty sure Al Horford might not like it, what the Thunder is doing. If he requests a trade, that's probably going to be the reason why he's not getting used for playing time. So this is from Adrian Wojnarowski. You can follow him at ESPN. That's ESPN.com. Okay, once again, 11:48 remaining in the first period. Washington, New York, no score. So that game's going on NBC as we speak. Okay, North Carolina State falls to Indiana. So they that was in the women's Sweet 16 yesterday. So North Carolina State knocks off loses to Indiana 370. So Indiana is going to the Elite Eight. Congratulations to Indiana. They're going to the Elite Eight. Okay, with overtime win, Baylor draws UConn months after the battle of the women's royalty was canceled. So looks like Baylor will also enter the Elite Eight. So they're going to be playing probably UConn in the Elite Eight games. So this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So that is your news headlines for ESPN. So let's see what else we have. my news looks like we same thing. That's okay. The Sweet 16 return once again begins today. Gonzaga taking on Creighton. That's going to be a pretty good game. That'll be at 1:10 on CBS. At 6:15, Alabama will take on UCLA. Florida will take on Michigan. Florida State, Michigan. That'll be a 4 p.m. game. And Oregon taking on USC. That'll be at 8:45 tonight. So it's a late night game out for fans if you're interested in that game. Okay, also more games today in the Sweet 16. Georgia Tech taking on South Carolina. Oregon taking on Louisville. Missouri State will take on Stanford. And Texas will take on Maryland. So that will be your games for the Sweet 16 for the men's and women's. Okay, World Soccer scores 41st minute. England leading Iberia 1-0. Georgia and Spain scoreless. Denmark and Madonna no score. U.S. leading 1-0 over North Ireland. So that's in the soccer games going on across the that's for the the international friendlies. Okay. Okay, fantasy baseball rankings, predictions, strategies, and cheat sheets. So that's from fantasy baseball. All your fantasy baseball needs. If you're a fantasy baseball hub, you can get information. So this is from ESPN Fantasy rankings, depth charts, and cheat sheets. So this is what they're talking about. Also, analyst mock drafts. These are your. This is from ESPN Plus. You go to ESPN Plus, Spring Training Watch. Playbook becomes expected 9 innings. So that's a lot of information on fantasy baseball. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, NCAA football. Let's give you an update on some D1 game, FCS games going on in NCAA football. We'll give you an update on those actions. Okay, Duquesne and Bryant tied up at 7. That game is going on in the first. They're going to the second quarter. Also, other games. LIU taking on Mermark. They're going to be playing at noon. Tennessee State will take on Tennessee Martin. Murray State will take on Eastern Illinois. Jacksonville State will take on Austin Pree. So that's your college football for this Sunday. So that's in the Northeast Conference. Okay, let's see what else we have. So it looks like we will move along, and we will go over to Bleacher Report. So we're going to go to Bleacher Report in just a second. Let me get this up on the screen and go to the Bleacher Report screen. Okay, Bleacher Report. Saturday's Sweet 16 winners and losers. So that's Sweet 16 winners and losers. College basketball. So winners and losers. Okay, the loser was squandered a late opportunity for Loyola Chicago. So Loyola Chicago will be out of the tournament. Many teams can shoot 17% from the floor in the first half. Still have a chance to win, but unfortunately for Loyola Chicago, that wasn't enough in their game. So they went 5 for 23 from behind the arc, Oregon State zone. So that's one of the reasons why the Loyola Chicago team did lose. They did not shoot very well in the game versus Oregon State. Now, the winners, 2-3 zone defense from Oregon State. That was one of your winners. They did run the 2-3 zone. They limit Oklahoma State to just 27% shooting in their game. So Oregon State, I'll be honest with you, they did play consistent on that 2-3 zone. Also, the Ramblers went 4 for 23 in the first half. They picked it up in the second half, shooting 33%, but 21% from behind the arc. So that's not going to get it done for Loyola Chicago. Now, loser, a season high turnovers for Villanova. Villanova absolutely just had 16 turnovers against Baylor. So they kind of was lackadaisical with the basketball against Baylor. So they, once again, you can't do that against those consistent teams like Baylor and stuff like that. So that's what happened in that game. Also, winners, surviving disaster, cold night for Baylor. Baylor did shoot 41%. They went 3 of 19 from 3-point distance. So they did shoot below 30%. That was from 3-point range. So that's another reason. Also, the clock strikes midnight for Oral Roberts. Their Cinderella story is now done. Arkansas, I'll be honest with you, they was leading in that game. They was definitely leading in that basketball game against Arkansas. But Arkansas definitely came back. Arkansas showed their grit and definitely came back in a game yesterday versus Oral Roberts. Sure. Will they make the tournament? Yes. Next year, I'm pretty sure they will make the tournament next year. Oral Roberts, you won't you'll hear from them for quite a while because look, they went through the NCAA tournament unscathed. In games, the defense looked like the biggest team weakness. They shot 37% from the floor, but 1 of 9 from behind the arc. So that was just the what happened. Now, the winner, Devontae Davis, with the game-winning for Arkansas, so that was they would tie the game at 70 when he knocked down the winning shot to get the win for Arkansas. He went 7 of 13. He had 16 points in the game yesterday. Now the losers, red hot offense extinguished for Syracuse. So that was what happened. Syracuse, arguably the hottest offensive team in the nation in the Sweet 16. They hung 78 points on San Diego State's defense and won 75-72. Buddy Bohannon had 55 points in the last 2 games. He averaged 26 points and 54% shooting, and also 48% in the month of March. The Orange scored a low 46 points. They did shot 14 of 50 from the floor for about 28%, and also 5 of 23 from three-point range. So they kind of was sloppy when it comes down to it. In the game, they scored only a low 46 points. Now, a 10-0 first half run sealed things early for Houston. So Houston, I'll be honest with you, this is a very good team in Houston. Houston definitely, they won. They definitely deserve to be in the conversation. So once again, this is from Bleacher Report. Go to bleacherreport.com. It's bleacherreport.com. Okay, we'll see what else we have. Okay, predictions for Sunday. So we'll go through the predictions. Let's just see if I get those predictions up on the screen. Give me a second to get that switched in. A lot. Okay, Memphis on top 31-29. That's in the first half, 105 remaining in the game. That's in the NIT championship game. Okay, the predictions for the Sweet 16 came out for yesterday's game. Gonzaga taking on Creighton. That's going to be at 1:10 Central Time. If Gonzaga wins, if the offense is consistent, also same thing with Creighton. Now the picks is Gonzaga, so I think they're. I would have to go with Gonzaga on this one. Now Florida State and Michigan. Michigan, I'll be honest with you. This was they're at 4:00 today, 5 p.m. Eastern. If Michigan Wednesday front court holds up against Florida State. Now Florida State wins on defense, so that's they commit at least 14 turnovers. So if I'd be honest with you, if they force 14 turnovers and don't commit turnovers, I think they can come out. Now, one says Michigan wins Florida State. I'm going to kind of say Michigan will win this game versus Florida State. I'm pretty sure that most likely will because Michigan other night against LSU was making their baskets. They were knocking down threes. So Florida State's going to have a very tough game against Michigan. So I'd say Michigan will win this game convincingly. Go to the Elite Eight. Now Alabama taking on UCLA. This is another team. Sure, I would love to see. This is the efficiency. If Alabama wins, Alabama scores 69, and sure does UCLA. Now, if UCLA wins, their offensive efficiency is supreme. So the pick is going to be Alabama. I say it's going to be Alabama. If they can win against USC, control the tempo, and get their shots off, I think Alabama would take this game. So I agree with these three individuals that picked Alabama. So I think Alabama will come out of this game unscathed. Now, USC taking on Oregon. That's at 8:45 Central. If USC wins, it's because of they're causing problems. Also, Oregon as well shooting assistant now. Oregon. One of them says Oregon. So I would definitely have to say Oregon wins this game. So we talked about this game already. So we did talk about this game. So Oregon State will take on Houston. That'll be on Monday night. So that will be on Monday evening. So that is your picks for today's games for the Sweet 16. So it's going to be some good games. So that is what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Sports Talk. Thanks to Isaac for coming in today. Appreciate it for him coming in, giving his insight on some sports topics we are talking about. So we'll be back tomorrow with the Pelicans taking on the Boston Celtics. I will be back on live play-by-play. That will be tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We'll be on the air. Also, if we come back early, I will probably do sports talk. So that it's we'll have sports talk as well. It will either in the daytime or either at night. So or after the game. So once again, everybody have a good rest of your Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the Sweet 16 games that's going on today. So we'll be back tomorrow.